Okay. Now we're gonna talk about fortresses, but first let's talk a little bit about inventory management right after getting a bunch of trades from piglins. Like you just traded a whole bunch of gold, and it doesn't matter which bastion. Try to have an idea of where your items are gonna go. So I'm just gonna give you a little recipe for how your inventory ought to look like. Doesn't have to be the same. You don't even have to do it at all, but it's just something that simplifies things for you. You don't really have to understand why you're doing it. Just do it, and you're gonna benefit from it later in the run. You're gonna understand why we did the stuff we did. So first of all, let's look at my inventory. Actually, let me grab the items inside here, and let me get a chest. Chest. The sapling can die, but yeah, let me place a chest. Let me place all this stuff inside there. Okay. Peaceful. Wait, peaceful. Just throw in everything, grab the rest of the items. Okay, let's say that, how do I do this? Is there any way for me to do this? Hang on. Um, okay, so we're gonna draw a little bit. I think I can just do this like that. Okay, draw a little bit. So do you see these two items over here? These two slots. I mean, I need a different color. These two slots. This is your string spot. So string, put your string in these two slots. Split them into them. And now these two slots, put ender pearls in them. Okay, so pearls, I'm gonna try to do something like that. You can see that, right? Pearls, string. Now, in this box, under these two boxes under the string, put glowstone, dust, so glowstone dust, and anchors. I mean, crying obsidian, crying obby. Okay, now obsidian goes into this slot right over here. Obsidian. Soul sand goes into here. Gravel goes into here. So gravel, and soul sand. Now you're gonna get a whole bunch of fire resistance in your inventory, a bunch of potions. I want you to click the the key that's associated with your 5th hotbar slot on the fire resistance potions, and fill, and then like mouse over this top column slot and press 5 again. So you put the fire resistance potion into your 5th hotbar slot. When you like mouse over a fire resistance potion, if I had one over here, I'd press 5 on it, so it goes into this box here, and then I'm gonna mouse over into this column and press 5 again. And I'm gonna keep doing that on fire resistance potions until this entire column is filled with fire resistance potions. Then nether brick, so this is gonna be fire resistance. I don't know how to do this, like fire res goes into this column. If this is too complicated, I'm sorry, but do like, yeah. uh You're also gonna get nether bricks and iron. Place the iron nuggets here. So iron nuggets. I mean, really, this entire section. This entire section can be iron, nugs, plus bricks, nether bricks, which look like this, but the small version. And the final thing is fire charges. Fire charges go here. Fire charges. So hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm gonna try to arrange my inventory like the way I showed you. It's still on my screen, that's good. And try to follow along in your own run. Like when you get your items, try to put them in the same slot. So with the stuff I have currently, I have some string, I have some soul stand, I have some fire charges. So I'm gonna place the fire charges in this slot, their slot, the soul sand in this slot, gravel is already in its slot, string, I'm gonna place it here, I'm gonna split it, glowstone dust here, I don't have any crying obsidian, nether bricks, I can do that, and magma cream, the book, the leather, ignore that for now. So let's get to the chest and let me, how do I do this? Like, is there any way for me to hang on? Can I erase just a little bit of this garbage? I mean, I can remove the fire resistance one. Hang on. Beep boop beep boop 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 beep boop boop. Okay. So open the chest and just grab a bunch of items. Okay. So what did I say about ender pearls? They go into these two slots. So I'm gonna press 4 on my ender pearl that was over here to bring it here, and then I'm gonna right click to split it and put it in the top slot. And the nether rack, I don't really care for it. Obsidian goes here. I can just mouse over it and click F because that's the key for my like this slot. And with the fire resistance, I'm gonna mouse over it and press 5, and then on the top of the column press 5 again, and again with the other fire resistance potion. I have extra string that I don't really need. The iron nuggets, I can place those over there. Crying obsidian goes next to the glowstone. And now these extra items are kind of all garbage. I don't really care for them. So I can throw this extra gravel, magma cream, leather, extra string, nether quartz, those iron boots, don't really care for them, flint and steel, the books, extra soul sand, dirt, the food is good, offhand that, the crafting table, yeah, don't throw that. The boat goes in its boat slot, more pearls, wood, don't throw away your wood, definitely don't. Soul sand, soul speed book, whatever. So, how do I remove this? No, wait, that. Okay, so now my inventory is organized to a pretty good spot. Say that you did this in the bastion and your inventory is looking like this, and it's really important to get 20 obsidian. If you don't get 20 obsidian, then you can't travel through the nether to the stronghold. You need enough obsidian to make 2 portals. That's 20 obsidian. Okay, you can't get away with any less than 20. If you can't get 20, if your trades are really terrible and they even with the guaranteed chest obsidian, you're not even close to 20, you're like at 12, then fine, you're gonna use the home portal. So the first portal that you enter through the nether, that's what you're gonna use to get out of the nether, and then with your 12 obsidian you're gonna make the second portal. But it takes a lot of time to use the home portal, so that's why we're trying to get 20, so we don't have to go back to our original starting nether portal. So say that you did this and you did get 20 obsidian, so I'm just gonna give myself one more. And now you want to get ready for the bastion, I mean for the fortress. And hey, if you fill this column with fire resistance, say that like this, fire resistance. If you fill the column with fire resistance, this column, you don't need any other fire resistance. You can chuck all the other ones. But let's say that I want to get myself ready for the fortress. We're gonna start talking about fortresses. First things first, craft at least one bed. So go to your crafting menu thing and get 3 wool, just 3. Uh, Open your crafting table and make a bed, and also make some nether bricks by clicking on this icon here and then clicking nether bricks. You can also just click E and instantly shift click on nether bricks. So that, and then you can take up your crafting table, and if you have a iron axe, I mean if you have a stone axe, stone axe, and the bastion gave you enough iron to craft a iron axe, make that as well. Hell yeah. And you can throw away your crappy stone axe. And if you still have leftover iron to make a sword, an iron sword, even better. But that's really all the stuff you need for the fortress. Fire resistance potions, weapons, nether bricks, and one bed. How do we find the fortress first of all? Well, give Jackson's spawner, and hopefully this works. Let me just make sure that it does work. Why is there a spawner next to me? Can I go a little bit further away? 16. Oh my god. Hang on just a moment. Still, what the hell? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna go to a super flat world to explain. More world options, super flat. Wait. More world options, super flat, off, create world. So in the fortress we're gonna be looking for something called a spawner. So give Jackson's spawner, this type of thing, but it's gonna be a blaze spawner, and let me just do that, and peaceful. A blaze spawner. If we use our pie chart and keep clicking 0, we can go into a different section of the pie chart that we're gonna use to help us find the spawner. So tick, click on tick, which is number 5. It can be different for you. It changes randomly. Then I didn't go into tick, did I? Okay, tick, and then level, and then entities, and then block entities. Do you see the cyan Minecraft mob spawner? That means my pie chart is detecting a close by spawner. It's detecting this spawner. Now, if I go down all the way to 2 render distance, it's gonna say 2. This chunk, and I'm gonna go out 1, and then again, still shows up. I'm gonna go again. That's one thing you should know with pie chart. If the spawner is in 5 chunks or closer, then you can't use your pie chart to find it. So if it's only 5 chunks away, you can't use it to find it. But